Hey, Eric, it's Steve. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you have a great weekend. I'm reaching out to you because I spoke with a couple of your associates and they've told me that the market is slowing down a little bit now, that buyers are not as many coming out and maybe a couple less competition, less competing offers. And they think it's a reflection of the rising interest rate environment and definitely the negative press talking about how rates are going up and how we're going into a recession and all these things and constant pounding on that level. Well, I want to share with you a strategy that we've used in the past. Very, very successful, extremely creative. It makes a win-win, a win for the seller that they net out more than a price reduction or a negotiation, and a win for the buyer, an incredible windfall win for the buyer. Let me share my screen and show you an illustration of this. I call it the rising interest rate environment marketing strategy, or the rising interest rate negotiation strategy. Let me click share my screen and it comes up hopefully. Okay, rising interest rate negotiation. Let's say your list price is $2.5 million. Let me go back. This is 4 vertical columns. The first one on your left is $2.5 million list price. Let's look at that. In today's market, our interest rate is 4 5/8 on a 30-year fixed at 0 points. That's very good. That's an eyebrow raiser. Rates have come down in the last couple of days and we're priced super well in the jumbo market, as you know. Go down that column, you see that the payment, including estimates for taxes and insurance, is that number there at $12,765. And your cash needed to close with standard closing cost in Montgomery County, 20% down, that number there, $566,258. Okay, now we've got a situation where a seller wants to sell it fast or considering a price reduction, or a buyer is trying to negotiate, and even in this competitive market now, for a lower purchase price, maybe for $50,000 either way on both strategies. Just pull the number out, but 50,000 is typically a good number, a percentage drop. So let's say you're going to list your price now, reduce your price or negotiate for $2,450. That's a 50,000 reduction. What's that changing? Look, go down the column too. Loan amount drops, interest rates the same. The payment drops by $264 a month. It's not bad. And the cash to close is $12,000 less. So the buyer is focusing on that $50,000 drop, but really the $12,000 less out of pocket and $264 a month, that goes along with it. That goes along with that 50,000 drop. I argue that that's not as good as lowering the payment in column 3. Let's look at a different approach. If the seller were to pursue creative financing or interject creative financing into the negotiation, and let's say that they decide to pay 2 points on the list price. List price is 2.5, the loan amount is $2 million. The 2-point contribution or payment is $40,000. $40,000 nets out to the seller $60,000, whereas in column 2, the seller is netting out $50,000. Win for the seller right there. Great. Okay, so that reduces the interest rate in column 3 to 4%. It's a huge reduction, and it lowers the payment $734 a month. $734 a month takes you into a new realm for qualifying for the home. People at a $2.3 million, $2.2 million, now they qualify for this house for $2.5 million. Or people who are buying this house and qualifying, they're getting an incredibly low price, because after all the dust settles, what really drives the cost of the home ownership is the monthly payment. Let's finish this column. Column 3, the cash to close is $566, just like in column 1. There's no rate reduction. There's no purchase price reduction. So you got to have that extra $12,000. But, huge but, if you take that payment of $12,031 and you put it in today's interest rate market, if those people were buying a house at that payment, that would be the same as a payment for column 4, $2,325,000 purchase price. That is $125,000 lower than what a buyer might be negotiating for, and 200 and or 102.25. I'm a numbers guy. I can do this. $175,000 lower than the 2.5 list price. You're buying a home for a payment of a home at $2,325,000. Let's look at it. The payment in column 4 is $12,021. The payment on our loan or our transaction at 2.5 is $10 more per month. So you're really getting that price. In addition to that, if I'm allowed to scroll down, the benefits I've got down here, the monthly savings, number one, the seller maximizes on the profit of their sale. Buyer acquires a home with payments for property of $175,000 less, column 3, number 3. And then number 4, the buyer also gets a tax deduction for free because the seller paying the 2 points, even though the seller's paying it, the buyer gets the benefit and it goes to $750,000. So it's approximately a $6,000 back on their taxes in this scenario. Hopefully this makes sense. I'll stop to share, come back. Let me know your thoughts if this is helpful, if you think there's some way we can tweak it or put it in, or you have a situation where this might be helpful in a negotiation. Depending on how it's introduced, I can put something together, customize, and I can walk a buyer through this or a seller. Okay, thanks again. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.